Hello there. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. I'm Scotty. You're not. uh, so, I guess apologies. I don't know. I knew I was going to take a break after Reckoning. I knew I was going to take a little break from this. I knew I was going to need to. Not only personally, because it was getting close to the weekend. I had stuff going on last weekend. Had my son. Had my Christmas party that Friday, so that was no reviews then. And I had my son over the weekend. And yesterday, Monday, from when I'm recording this, and this is going to go up, had to go cash my paycheck. And because there's a bridge over here, yonder, that they've taken out, I don't have to go I now have to go the long route, which is to go that way. But my supervisor at work will drop me off at the bank because it's right behind where a couple of the people on our crew live. So he'll drop me off there, and then I just walked. And I gotta do bank, and then the hospital's there. You go around, and then usually I turn right and go down, but I can't do that because the bridge is out. So I go straight this time, go all the way down, come around the other way. And yesterday's trip held little results. I wanted to go to Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree has no Blu-ray, no DVDs, no dollar DVDs. I looked everywhere. Went to Aldi, which only resulted in me getting some canola spray to do grilled cheese and stuff. Might be my lunch. I don't know. I smell coffee because my coffee from Friday spilled in here. And I just dumped this. I know you're supposed to take the whole thing out, but I don't want to do that right now. Went to KFC for lunch. So yeah, I know I'm telling you my whole itinerary from yesterday, but I did go to Hobby Lobby because, okay, so a Target used to be on that side. So I used to go there a lot, go to Target. But since it's been gone, I don't go on that side. So this is my time. I gotta walk on that side anyway. Might as well, very little results. I did get one thing from Hobby Lobby, which I'll show in my haul video. But anyway, to the episode. Like I said, I knew I needed a break after this because I did when I was watching the DVDs. Because I watched Reckoning, and then when I tried to watch this episode, right after it, I stopped. And I was like, no. Something had already changed. There was something missing from the show. And even as I continued to watch, yeah, if season 4 was the end of the golden era, Jonathan's death just solidified that change was coming. Now, I think I said this a couple times, but my ideal Smallville show would be only like 5 seasons long. It would end with like Jonathan's death, and then Clark going on, whatever, have a time jump to him being Superman, the whole thing. Like, oh, I got an internship with the Daily Planet. Thanks to Chloe's cousin. You remember Lois, right? She wouldn't be on the show. She would have that couple appearances in season 4, and that'd be it. In my opinion. But, yeah. I don't know. But, on the outside looking in, some people would call this filler. But I would call it a aftermath episode. Like, we're dealing with the aftermath of Jonathan's death. It's dealing with, like, the anger you feel after someone dies, the anguish, all of the feelings that you bottle up inside after someone dies. And I, unfortunately, know what they're trying to do here. Because I doubt that my grandma died back in 2015. I did that. I held it up aside, and I just, told me, don't do that. You gotta let it out, and you gotta kind of try to move on from the situation, which Clark does not do. The episode starts. Lois, she's not in this episode. Martha, I don't know how I got that confused. Martha is taking some of Jonathan's clothes to the homeless shelter, I think it is, and along with this watch. This watch becomes a legendary watch because it's the same watch that he is wearing in his Arrowverse appearance with the blue kryptonite. You're not going to change my mind on that. Later I'll explain what blue kryptonite means, but it's the same watch. But you don't know it's his dad's watch. Yeah, it is. But it's been customized with the blue kryptonite on the thing. But yeah, dad's watch. And he doesn't want anything to do with it right now. Kind of pushing it away. Him and Lana are kind of at a disadvantage right now because of what happened. A lot happens in this episode. Just saying. Anyway, so Martha is mugged by these guys who steal the watch, but she's saved by this female vigilante, which is not mentioned in the episode. The name is mentioned once. It's a comic book character called Akrata, or Andrea Rojas, who was a character in Supergirl, and I totally forgot because I stopped watching after Crisis. Crisis just sort of deflated me, and I wanted to refocus what I was watching. So it was finishing off Arrow, and then it was Legends and Flash. And so, I think I did finish watching Batwoman. No, I didn't. I just remember, no, I didn't. Because the last few episodes I didn't. And it was one of those things. Also, the whole thing with COVID is knocking back some episodes. Some of those were like, oh, okay. There's no real conclusion or what. And I have all Supergirl now. I can watch it whenever I want. But, I didn't realize it was the same character. It's supposed to be the same character. Because this is like this tough, streetwise woman who's trying to get revenge for what happened to her mom, and this is in Supergirl, she's a businesswoman. It's very different. Although they do parallel Superman here. We'll get there, because when we first meet Andrea, she's bumbling, dropping papers everywhere. She got glasses on. Why does that sound familiar? But yeah, she saves Martha, but they took the watch. So now Clark is all gung-ho about getting the watch because he should have wanted it. She wanted to give it to Martha wanted to give it to him, and he's like, you should put it on. He's just sort of distancing himself from everything. I'm going to get rid of this subplot right now because I don't know why it's in this episode. You could put it in a different episode. It feels shoehorned in. Lionel is trying to buy back LuthorCorp because he doesn't like that Lex spent all of his money on his campaign. That's it. That's really the whole thing. There's like 2 or 3 scenes of them talking about it, and it really doesn't do anything other than to fill up the runtime. And there's also a scene where Lex apologizes to Lana for what happened on the road. Yeah. If he only realized what that accident was leading to, he'd be doing more than apologizing, I'm telling you. Yeah. In this version, though, it was a kiss. So now we're in this timeline where he kissed her and she smacked him and ran off. Or maybe she didn't smack him, he just ran off. I don't know. Remember, he tell me that was like 4 or 5 days ago I watched that. You trying to tell me I remember that? Hell no. Anyway. So Clark recruits Chloe. I almost said Chloe again. Chloe. Clark recruits Chloe. It's kind of hard to say that. To help try to find out who this is, and that's when we meet Andrea Rojas. Now, when I say recruit, their plan. So he has an encounter with her because Chloe is trying to run a story about this vigilante, and then she confronts them, and then Clark's big plan is to go around to every alleyway in Metropolis and pretend that Chloe's getting mugged. And shockingly, this works. Eventually. She shows up and she's, oh, it's you again, and they get the mask off and reveal that it's her. Although this does create a paradox when you think that Clark only has to wear glasses to fool people, and she has to not only wear glasses, but also put on a mask to conceal her identity. Yeah, but they do point out that her glasses are not fake. She's blind as a bat. She wears contacts when she's out fighting, and she puts the glasses. A lot of people have told me once you get contacts, I think that'd be more hassle than glasses. You kidding me? You trying to go? And I put it in there. So people say, well, get the laser eye surgery. And I'm like, yeah. But let me ask you, if you're so used to seeing this on the screen all the time, right? What if I just started doing this? It's like when the Nostalgia Critic did it, right? He eventually had to start putting glasses on anyway to read the screen, so LASIK isn't as good as you think it is, but, you know, if I just started doing reviews like this, after I get the laser surgery, this is not Scotty. No. If anything, if I got LASIK and don't need these, just punch out the it could be like the Nostalgia Critic, because he still wears glasses. Just take the lenses out and put the glasses on for the videos. But I'm not saying I'm ever going to get the LASIK eye surgery, because I don't know, I would not be able to stand still enough for him to do it. Sorry. You can call me a big pussy if you want. I am wearing pink. But, no, I couldn't. There's no way. Sorry. Then I have to be like Helen and Drake and Josh, walk around blind for a day or two. Someone, here, come over here. Come over here, sit down. Are you kidding me? My son would trick me and have me sit down on nothing and fall on my butt. He would. I know he would, because I would do that to him. And like father, like son. I would make sure there was a pillow on the ground before he sat down, so he landed on the pillow. I'm not that inhumane. I'm just saying. So she tells her story. Oh, she and her mom were driving or going somewhere when they were attacked. She was stabbed in the heart and her mom was murdered. Yeah, it is later confirmed it was murder. It wasn't just a mugging. Gone wrong. I'm like, this is very much Batman. You know, they gave her Batman's backstory. I don't know if this is from the comics, but it's very much Batman's backstory. You know? And she got a heart transplant from someone, I know this isn't from the comics, from someone who died in a meteor shower. So now she's got superpowers like Clark, and then she carries this around. It's a meteor rock, and he's like, I'm allergic. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, so that's gonna come back. And it does. Of course it does, because they find the guy who did it, and she wants Clark to kill him, and he can't. He realizes that it's wrong, and so she activates the meteor rock on him and kills her himself, especially after she finds out he was the guy who killed her mom. But she also finds out, and again, this feels shoehorned in. Well, the order came from Lionel Luthor. Bullshit. Do you know what Lionel Luthor was doing during the time that this would have happened, right? They were killed around the time the meteor shower happened. Lionel was more concerned with finding those stones than anything else. There's no way he actually did it. Somebody is lying here. That we don't see this character again, we haven't really learned the truth. We just have to accept that it was Lionel, which I call bullshit. Especially since he was comatose when the meteors hit. Right? And they're saying that this mugging happened before the meteor shower, right? Because that's how she got the heart transplant, is that she was laying there and they found someone who died in the... Right? So I'm assuming. I just don't see it. It's shoehorned in so that, I don't know, we can get have a climax in Luthor Corp Tower. She tries to kill him, but Clark convinces her otherwise, and she takes off. At the window, breaking the window. Well, I think she broke the window to throw him out. Throw him out of Luthor Corp Tower. I don't see that happening. But, yeah. And, there's a lot that happens in this episode. Lana apparently off-screen was going to every pawn shop in Metropolis to find a watch that was stolen, because we found out he pawned it. And she found it and gave it back to him, so that she's wearing it. Lionel somehow knows that Martha has been offered Jonathan's state Senate seat. Not sure that's how it works, but okay. I know that. No, not even in politics. Like, if Biden were to die, would his wife be able to take over? No, it'd be Kamala Harris or Kamala or whatever Harris would take over, right? And when Trump comes in, it'd be Vance that would take over. It wouldn't be Melania, right? But of course, with Senate seats, there's no backups. But I would think you would get another politician to take his place. In fact, shouldn't it be Lex then? Right? Lex lost the election, but Jonathan is dead from a heart attack. Now, why there's no internal investigation into this? People are like, oh, it's a heart attack. There doesn't need to be investigation, right? Lex Luthor loses the election to Jonathan Kent. Not an hour after the election is done, Jonathan Kent dies of a heart attack. And Luthor has knowledge of Jonathan's heart problems. For all we know, it could have been something sprinkled in, right? Now, in my opinion, in a situation like this, the runner-up should then get the seat. So you think Lex would get the seat, even though he lost. But that's not what the writers wanted to do. They gave it to Martha, which still to me, all these years later, doesn't make any sense. Because all this does is push her further and further away from the show, as they focus more on the younger characters, because they didn't have anything for her to do now that Jonathan is dead. And so they did this. That's pretty much what I got from it. But yeah, Lionel somehow knows about this. And she's like, I haven't told Clark about that yet. How do you know? I'm like, do you question how this man knows anything? You know? He has people in high places, I guess. Yeah, and then Clark comes home to find Martha watching old tapes. And I only assume they recorded these before his departure. And yeah, Clark's not able to cry, weep, mourn. There's the word, to mourn. I was trying to find that word earlier in the review, and I couldn't think of the word. Not able to mourn Jonathan. She notices he has to watch, and so she kind of puts her hand on his. And yeah, it's a mourning, coping kind of episode. It's got that feel to it. I think it's decently done. When I first watched this back in the day, though, I was just like, nope, Jonathan's gone. This is not good. No, it's actually not that bad of an episode. It's about mourning someone, so it works. And Lois is not here, so that's a plus. Although I don't know where they could have thrown her in. I don't know. But, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.